Hey guys, welcome to a little chat about the collective energies that are going on right now. If you don't know me and you're new to my channel, my name's Chloe Metcalf, and I am an empathic intuitive. I'm an artist, and I just felt the need to just pop in because normally I do a weekly oracle, and you guys get the collective energies from that for the week ahead, but I felt really called to be brought present with you guys today. And I wanted to share a bit about what I'm experiencing with the collective energies at the moment, but also a little bit about what the universe is asking of us to do right now. What's the most important thing we can be kind of connecting with, and kind of being a bit more practical with the energy. So hopefully this can support you. But I want to also tell you a little bit about an awesome kind of experience I've been having today that started from my dreams last night through to now. And I really wanted to share with you my latest piece of art, so which is in the background there. So I've just started kind of, I've been exploring myself through art for a while. But recently it's been a bit more about my physical body and understanding it. So yeah, but I'll get into that in a second. So this piece here is my most recent one, but this is the second piece in my self-portrait series. So kind of really enjoying doing those. Anyway, so the collective energy right now, what they're really calling for us to do is to just take note, to really look around, really pay attention. And so the way the universe kind of brought it to me this morning was I had a visit from the bees in my dreams last night, and they were pollinating. So the bees were pollinating in my dream, and it was kind of, it's a little like different, a little bit weird, but you know, dreams are never normal. So I had this experience where because I've been breastfeeding for like 3.5 years now. So in my dream, I was breastfeeding, like the milk was coming out, but suddenly it was turning into pollen, and these bees were coming along to drink the pollen. And I'm going, what is this all about? Like, it was the most incredible kind of moment in my dreams where I was like, that, like my brain went, that's a message in my dream. Like it was like really strange. But it inspired this piece of artwork, but also the collective message was about pollinating, and that the universe is this month pollinating our dreams and pollinating the flowers that we've already grown and things that we've already grown, to continue the life cycle, to continue the cycle of I guess energy coming through, to continue like growth in our life. And so the universe really was saying to me, like, you know, right now we need to look at life as a garden bed, that within our garden right now we need to take stock. So for a lot of the energy that's been happening this year has all been in our upper chakras, really been in our mind, think like what we're thinking, like who am I, what am I doing here, what is my purpose, how can I show up in the world. But this is like, now that we've hit Taurus, it's like, hey, like we're getting earthy here. We're getting a bit more like, you know, we haven't had an earth sign since Capricorn. So that's like way at the beginning of the year. So now it's like, now we've had all this integration work. We've had all this upper chakra work, all of this like integration and bringing in the energies and bringing in this wisdom. Now spirit is kind of going, well, now we're grounded. Let's take a look around and see what's going on, like see the reality, and what can we do about it. So within that space, they're asking us to, hey, look, there's weeds over there. It's time to weed and pull. Like, what's not working for you? For instance, my workshop on the 12th, I have, as of yesterday, I decided that I won't be holding it because it's not coming together. Like the content was starting to come out, which was really great, but there wasn't enough attendance. There wasn't enough, like, I got to one point in the content and then I got stuck, and I'm like, I can't go past this point. Like, what's with that? So I was like, okay, all right, I'm trusting. And then had a conversation with myself and with my womb, and it just wasn't to be. It just wasn't the right timing. So we'll be holding one later on in the year. So, well, probably in about like end of June, early July at this stage. So, take stock, like what's not working. If that's an event you need to cancel the event. If it's a I don't know, like if it's a friendship that's not working out, can you salvage the plant? Is it a weed or is it a flower that's in need of tending and nurturing and giving some water? So, you know, where can you give back to the garden? How can you give good food and good water and good love? Do you need to plant new seeds? Like, what is there a spot where you have pulled out the weeds? Do you need to till over the earth? Like, do you need to turn over things? Do you need to organize things? Do you need to reset things to kind of get life going again? Because whatever you're putting in the ground right now will manifest. This is what they want us to know, though. This is the big powerful thing, right? And I think the best way to explain it is that present moments create our future realities. Yeah. And present moments have created our past as well. So it's like when you realize that what you're doing in this moment, are you tending to the garden? Are you making sure that there are, there's good fertilizer, good water, and all of that stuff? If you're putting that in there, then in the future you're going to reap the rewards. But if you are currently avoiding getting into the reality, getting the stuff done, doing the work, this could even be like getting within yourself, within your own body, and understanding your inner workings. So if you get on and do it, it's going to serve you down the track. It is going to support you down the track. You are creating your future right now. And anything that you're experiencing right now, your past self has created. So understanding that cycle is going to be massive in your transformation. Taurus energy will make something of the energy going on. So it's going to really shift you. I'm just hoping my son's not running because I'm pretty sure he's in the nudie. So yeah, so as soon as we realize that right now collectively, like as soon as we take stock of everything that's going on in our life and on in our reality and get to work in tilling the ground, or doing, do you need to go through and check all of your finances? Do you need to see where things aren't working? Can you look at the reality of it? Because when we're grounded, when we're earthing, like when we're getting in the earth, then it's going to be okay. If you can think of Taurus kind of as like the farmer's bull that pulls the the big till on his back, like he's happy to do, he's like in there getting in the work, and he's getting fed, and he's getting like good love, and and he's being that big supporter to all of us. Even like, this is funny though, like I always find that with the Taurus energy, they will give, they can, like to the point where they'll help you in areas you don't really want help. So the universe is going to do that. Like, even if you're avoiding that area, they're going to try and it's going to try and help you. So if you can think about, like, that's what they're trying to do. Either you get ahead of it and you like take the hold of the bull and guide the bull through where you need to do the work, which you need to do the work, even if you want to avoid the work. But if you get in there and do the work with that, with the support of the bull, it's going to be a lot easier than you pulling the machine yourself, right? So he's kind of trying to help us, like he is trying to help us. So the other thing that's coming up for us collectively right now is a lot of childhood stuff, and sometimes that can be really difficult to work with and difficult to deal with. And so this is where I kind of want to share a little bit of story, because I've been doing a lot of self-exploration around like my thoughts and beliefs around myself and myself showing up in the world. Because often when we're afraid to step into our light and step into our rising, it's usually based on our own internal belief system around ourselves. So so I've been going in and exploring a bit more around my feeling, because even though at times I felt like I was too much, and that was when I was a teenager, now it's like I feel like I'm not enough, and that I don't have the right qualifications, or I don't have the right knowledge, or I don't, but all of this stuff I've done lifetimes and lifetimes before. Like the moment I unlocked it all, it was like, oh my God, like I just woke up from all that study and all that hard work from all those lifetimes and remembered it all in a massive hit. And so for me, it's like I've got that knowledge bank there. I might as well share it, because it's kind of not right to not share, but when you can help people. So, but anyway, so there was this real belief that I wasn't enough, and that I didn't know enough, or I couldn't hold enough space, or I couldn't show up in the right way. And I couldn't work out where it started. And then for most of my life, I've struggled with bursitis in my shoulder, and sometimes I've been getting it in my left shoulder now, which is abnormal. I always get it in the same shoulder. But I realize that because bursitis comes from anger, and I'm like, okay. So I've worked through some of the anger, which was like the witch's wound and like a lot of past life ones, but I still felt like it was something to do with now. And I went into this memory of me as a child. And when I was really little, I loved ballet. Like, what little girl doesn't love ballet? But I loved ballet, and I wanted to be a ballet dancer. I wanted to be on stage, and I wanted to perform. And I've always had this desire to be on stage. Didn't matter what it was I was doing. I just wanted to be on there. But at the age of like 4, 5, and 6, it was ballet. To the point when I was a teenager, I went through a stage where I just carried this pair of ballet slippers around. I didn't dance or anything, and I put them on every now and then, but it just made me feel as though I had achieved a point in my life. I just wanted to get to that point where I could dance my toes. But as a kid, I remember this moment where my dance teacher said to my mother, she'll never be good enough for ballet because she has the wrong body type. So that was my like base moment. But the bit that I wasn't angry about, like, it was nothing to do with the fact that she had said that. What hurt me more as a little kid was the fact that my mother agreed and then took me out of the lessons. That's what hurt more. And because I know that from that point, I emotionally went downhill, and I didn't want to play ball, and I didn't want to dance. I didn't want to do those things because I overheard that they didn't say it directly to me. It was something I overheard and saw them having an adult conversation about it, and it stuck in my head. And so it was like, it did two things. One, it told me I wasn't enough. And then two, it told me that my body was wrong. And so there was a lot of shame for me around my body type. And so I hid it. I wanted to hide, constantly wanted to hide. I did everything I could to hide. And so right now, like, that's what the healing process that I'm going through right now is like. These wounds are coming back in me not feeling comfortable in my body, through like my hair and through my weight. And you know, even though it's really positive because it's helping me to explore those areas, at the same time, I don't want to carry that shit around. Like, I don't want to feel like crap because I'm not happy about some area in my life. Like, you know, I got acne today, and I was like, I need to do a live, and then I had to kind of go, okay, well, this is what I look like. This is me. So let's do it. Like, I only get one chance at this. And to be honest, I'm not very good with makeup. So, so it was like, yeah, one of those experiences that, you know, but I still hadn't gotten really further into it. It was like there was still something missing. Like, what was missing? And I realized that it was more based, like, so even though I didn't feel enough, it actually moved me into what is my biggest fear. And I couldn't understand what it was, but it was also around like, so me just recently, if you check out my blog, which is on my website, one of my most recent ones about putting her, saying goodnight while I put her to sleep. It was about me moving beyond the archetype of the maiden and fully embracing my archetype as the mother, which my dream last night completely anchored in that's what that was. And then this painting was this next level for me to really embrace my motherly body, it really embracing living and nurturing, like being in that state of nurturing, without seeing, like without having the eyes. Like, it's not, the maiden was always like looking up at the sky, but now it's about putting my crown on. And even if my crown covers my eyes because I don't feel as though I've fully grown into it, you know, my body is still moving, and my body is the guidance system. So it's okay. Like, it's okay if I don't see it. It's okay that I don't see the path, but knowing that my body is a barometer for everything else. But my biggest fear in this process, and me realizing, was that my fear was that my joy, the thing that I loved the most, which was ballet at the time, that it would be taken away from me because it wasn't what my parents and what society said was right for me, even though at the time it was right for me because it brought me joy. Yeah. I had the same experience happen when I was a teenager. I tried out for Australian Idol. I didn't get in the first round, even though I've been singing for years. I was like professionally trained and everything, but it was no, you're not enough. You're not, the song's not done. You haven't done it right. You're not the right look. You're not enough. You're not what we're looking for. And so there was another layer of, you're not enough. And I'm really struggling to get back to singing again. And it's taken me a 10-year cycle to get to this point now where I go, well, actually I am enough and I'm fine, but I still have to work through the blocks and I still have to find my voice again. And I think the next 10 years is going to be me finding my voice. But it's like going, all right, well, now that my parents aren't responsible for me, now I'm definitely not maiden anymore. And now that I'm fully embracing my mother, it's not my mother, but my mother energy. Now that I'm embracing that, I'm going to mother that child that wanted to be a ballet dancer and let her know that it's okay and it's safe to show up in the way that you feel called to show up, and whatever the joy is, then it's okay. So the collective energy is bringing up all of this stuff right now that we need to take note on. Even if you go, all right, I don't know where that's taking me, do what I like. Maybe you could take this this little note out of my book and maybe do some artwork and explore your body through art, or explore whatever things that kind of triggered you. Maybe explore it that way, or maybe it's through journaling, because I did that. Like I've got like 5 pages in my journal on just exploring why I didn't feel enough, or why I was hiding, or what I didn't understand about it all. So, and like the thing is though, like I still love my parents. Like my parents have given me a fantastic life. They always gave me opportunities. I always hid from my singing in front of my mother and performing in front of my mother, and now I understand why, and I love her. Like, Mum, if you are watching this, I love you, and I I know no bad stuff around that, but I'm just processing and understanding it. But I really do think that the more we allow these things to come up, rather than, because that's what it is, like over the next few months, we're still going to get this stuff coming up, and layers upon layers and upon layers. The more you do the work, it's going to keep coming up. So, but take time to till the garden, take time to look around your life and go, all right, what is not working? What is working? How can I give love to the stuff that is already growing? Because that's the other thing. It's like, often I think we forget, we plant the seeds and we forget to water them and to nurture them and to keep coming back and giving it love. So make sure that you're doing all those things. Make sure that you're giving good love and nurturing to those things around in your life. And, that's kind of what's going on in the collective right now. And, you're doing a great job. Keep going. Yeah. All right, guys, thanks so much for joining me live. And if you're checking this out on the replay, awesome. If you like the video, please like and subscribe and share. And if you think it'll help somebody, perhaps share it too. And if you want to see like this painting up at close, because there's so much detail you can't actually see, because it's like really interesting. This was me just like unlocking my self from the darkness and shadow that I'd been exploring for a really long time. And this one over here is literally me exploring and finding my voice and my desire to dance again and to connect with my body again. But these are just 2 different phases from this year. Like every time I do one, it's like this whole nother transformation of my body and of myself. So, journaling, like, and watching the evolution, or painting and watching the evolution, like it's a really powerful, really special tool to work with. So anyway, guys, thanks so much for joining me. If you want to get a reading with me, feel free to go down to my website. You can book your readings directly through there, or you can send me an email to mamaheartspace@gmail.com or thewildshe@gmail.com. And you can book a reading with me, or one-on-one Skype session. And I think that's about it at the moment that I can talk about. So thanks, guys, so much, and I will see you all again soon.